Okay, what is good? What is good for the culture family? So, we're going to be taking a look here today at both the gold markets, EURUSD, and the DXY. So, today will be a pretty short stream. Um, Not too much has changed in terms of what we're looking for as far as what we're looking to execute on. But in terms of our daily structure and what we have seen currently for today, there are some things that we definitely need to hit on, and I personally want to hit on that we're going to talk about. So let's start it off with the DXY. So the most important thing with the DXY, we're going to look here at the daily time frame, is that the DXY within this wave here has been creating higher highs and higher lows. We can't deny the fact that price has in fact been creating higher highs and higher lows within this level here. So you can see we have this move up, a move down, move up, move down, another move up, breaking this high here, and then another move down. Me personally, I am biased to the DXY being relatively bearish. Now, why I'm bearish on the DXY in particular is if you take a look here, we're at a key weekly level of supply. Not only are we at this key weekly level of supply, but we got a nice daily rejection off of this key weekly level of supply after we tapped into this level on Friday. Monday, we've seen an immediate rejection down, and we still have this gap to the downside that we can fill for the DXY. Now, I cannot deny that price is in appears to be right now a bullish structure. So even if price goes up to break this high one more time, I don't anticipate price will break these highs up here and that we could start to see a bigger move to the downside. And truthfully, I'm more biased to price reversing off of this level of supply here on the 4 hour time frame for another potential bearish move to the downside to fill this here, at least down to likely these levels here. So overall, I am bearish bias on the dollar, but as of right now and as of today, the dollar is increasingly it's been going up. So our volume as far as the New York session is concerned is bullish for the dollar, which means that we could see pairs like EURUSD, which I am still bullish bias on, correct to the downside here. Now, what I want to note about EURUSD in particular is that EURUSD has been creating lower lows and lower highs, but if we take a look here on, let's say, the weekly time frame, we can see where the DXY is currently at. So price had an impulsive move up followed by a corrective structure down, and we can identify this because this didn't take nearly as long as it's taken for this to start to push to the downside. So that's how we see our impulsive move up and then our corrective structure as far as this current wave is concerned. Now what we had happen, excuse me, is that when price came to this weekly level of demand here, we got a bullish reaction. Now with this bullish reaction, price pushed up, and now we're starting to see another push back down. We tapped into this level of demand here that started this bullish wave to the upside, and price is seeing some type of rejection off of this level. So if we take a look, we dial it down to the smaller time frame, price came back down, tested this level, couldn't quite push breaking these levels. We corrected back up, pushed back down to test this level yet again, and then got another bullish wave. So what I'm anticipating for EURUSD, let's go to the 4 hour time frame now, take a look, is I'm bullish bias for this gap to get filled. So even if price, what I would anticipate as far as next moves is to see how price reacts within this level, because we don't want to see this level get broken. Price has tapped into that daily level 2 times now and hasn't been able to break this level here, and what I want to see is some type of bullish reaction within this level for price to now fill this gap to the upside. I won't be looking to sell EURUSD until we get this gap filled to this upside, or until price breaks through these lows here So we get a break through the lows, a corrective structure, and another bearish push to the downside. That's when I'll begin to look for potential sales for EURUSD. As of right now, and those sales will likely be short term because I'm still anticipating price to fill this gap to the upside there. But we don't want to jump into the markets. We don't want to be anxious. We don't want to just hop in. We want to be sure that we monitor this closely and just continue to watch for how price action is moving. We understand that today the DXY is just in a bullish trend. Now we can see this same thing kind of replicated here with gold. We're in these gold positions here. We've had some up volume and some down volume. Price had been creating higher highs and higher lows. The only thing about gold that was discerning to me, as far as we tapped into this level here, and then now we're getting a immediate bearish reaction off of this. So all of my positions moved to break even, so we got taken out at break even here, but we may see opportunities to re-enter this market as far as for this bullish thesis idea. Now as of right now, what we're seeing is a lot of volume here on the bearish side for gold. What I want to see, or what I don't want to see, shall I say, is a break below these lows here. Now it appears that this current 4-hour candle with 24 minutes left is going to in fact close bearish during the New York session. So volume and in terms of structure, this can make another push to the downside because we have an impulsive move here, what appears to be a correction, and then another what appears to be impulsive move. As long as price does not break this low here, though, we could potentially see a bullish flip for gold. Now also want to note, if we get this 4-hour bearish close, we want to see how price reacts here. If we do see it break this level, another steeper push to the downside, potentially to break this level, and then another move to the upside. I want to see this gap here for gold get filled, and that's what I'm biased on. And I do not believe personally that gold will break these lows here. So I may look to scale a position at these lows. We can see the current structure that gold is currently forming for another push up. So price pushed up, pushed down, push up, came out, took those lows here, but we didn't break these lows. And what this is an expanding flat, and then price can now push up to break these highs even more and potentially to start to fill some of this gap to the upside, potentially all the way up to 2352 levels. So I am monitoring this gold position currently, and this is an area that I would like to potentially scale into gold, being that we can get a good reaction off of this current level here for a potential another bullish wave to the upside. So overall, that's what I'm looking for in terms of the gold structure. You guys know that for the past couple of weeks here, just within this wave alone, we've been monitoring gold heavily, from this move to the upside here, which we anticipated, this move to the downside here, which we anticipated, this move to the downside. We didn't trade this move, so we got this move to the downside, and then this move again to the upside here to break these highs, broke these highs, filled this gap. Essentially, this is what I'm looking for, this kind of structure that we had here, just on the smaller time frame within this area here. So like, let's take a look at what this structure was in terms of what I think we could see for the current structure that we have now. Now gold is relatively bearish now, but let's take a look at what it did last week, or 2 weeks ago, shall I say, so that we can get an understanding of how gold, essentially moves. So we got this move to the upside. First of all, let's start off. We had this impulsive move to the downside here. We had an impulsive move to the downside, and we wanted to see this move get corrected. Now we knew that this would likely be a slower and longer position. The first trade I took was within this level here on the 4-hour time frame. You can see that price had closed bullish on the 4-hour time frame after holding this level of resistance here. Price had already tapped into our weekly level of demand, so we knew that this was a strong rejection level. Market open at the beginning of the week. We went ahead and took buys. I took buys within this level here with a stop below this low, and then targeting of this level here in terms of our final take profit. Now, what we've seen happen is that this move took quite some time to play out. We had a bullish move to the upside, correction, scaled into this trade, another move. We hit our take profit. After we hit our take profit, we immediately got a correction. So this is what I believe that, or the wave that we're in currently for the gold markets in terms of what we're seeing at right now. Now, gold can close bearish and break through these lows here for another push to the downside. If it does that, that's okay. We'll just let it play out. We'll see how price reacts within this level. I'm still biased to this gap getting filled to the upside before we see any steeper moves to the downside for gold, in my personal opinion. So we got a corrective wave, a high volume corrective wave. So now this move to the downside didn't take nearly as long as it did for this push to the upside. And what we had happen was we had CPI data on Wednesday that pushed us high volume to this take profit level, which why we set this to be our take profit level specifically is because we had a level of resistance at this level. Similar to what we've seen happening today, we had a level of resistance that price tapped into. It didn't break, but it tapped into, and then we're starting to see a move to the downside now for gold. So what we've seen here, we got this move to the upside, we got a move to the downside. What it did was it cleared these lows here. So it cleared these lows, but it never broke the lowest low here. So this is why I don't anticipate gold to break these lows here and for it to push up one more time to fill this gap. That's essentially the same exact wave that we had here. We had a wave up, a wave down, cleared these lows here, cleared these lows here, but it never broke our lowest low. We have a wave up, a wave down, another wave up, but this wave down, we just cleared these lows here, cleared these lows here, but we haven't broken our current lowest low. And so this may be an area where I will want to look to potentially scale in to the markets for another bullish move to the upside to fill this gap. So that's what I'll be potentially looking for. I may, let's see, I actually scale in. I don't have my phone. So after the conclusion of this, I will update you guys in the Telegram if I scale into this position, the position that I'm looking for, and what I'll look to take for gold going forward. But it is likely that I will scale into this move at these current levels. I like where price is at, where price is priced in at currently, with all the volume that we could potentially see to the upside. I think that this would be a potentially good trade as long as we can hold these lows. Price could fill this gap to the upside. We could look for about a 1 to 4.3 risk to reward on that trade there. So I will be monitoring this, but essentially all I want to see is what we've seen here. We got a push down, a push up, price moseyed along, but all it did was it remained within this bullish wave, and it's still in, if you can see now, this bullish wave of an expanding flat. This is why we believe that price could potentially hold at these key levels here, and then we see a bigger move to the upside to fill this gap, but even to potentially break these highs up here for another steeper move to the upside. I'll likely close positions here, but this is what I can see long term this week for the gold markets, anticipating the dollar to be increasingly or decreasingly weak throughout the rest of this week. So that's what I'm anticipating for gold, for EUR USD and the DXY. I hope that somebody is able to get some type of value out of this live session, understanding where we're at, where we're looking for price to go in the markets in terms of this gold structure, and how I plan or look to capitalize on this move to the potential upside here. I may go ahead and move stops below this low here and just potentially take an entry at the current level. So I will update you guys all on that trade. If I do enter this trade here, it'll be sent to the Telegram. Of course, you can see there everything that I take, every trade that I take, every setup that I send, all the updates, it all goes to the Telegram. So be sure to join the Telegram. The link is in the description if you want to see what my next moves are and stay up to date with the trades that we're looking to take. Currently, I'm probably about to end this live, scale into this gold trade, and then continue on with my day. I'll have a gold video breaking down all these moves that we took here in the past 2 weeks, uploading today as I finish the thumbnail, and then I'm gonna go about my day, go trail walking, go to the pool, do things of that nature. So I appreciate everybody who taps in. I hope that you got some type of value out of this live in some way, shape, or form. I know today was a short live, but it's just a quick breakdown in terms of what we got going on. Not too much going on in the markets as this week has been going on, but we've seen that we got some volume in the markets now. So keep an eye on this gold structure here. We're currently at these 2320 lows here. We could see a reaction. Well, oh, and speaking of which, let's go back to as far as the term of our reaction. Let's go and erase this. It is this OB right here. So this order block is where I knew we had some type of resistance at, this OB specifically. So price pushed into this level, broke through this low, tapped back into this level, came back down into these lows, and we could potentially, like I said, see a bullish move to the upside. Volume is to the downside here, but as long as price doesn't break these lows, we could see this good bullish move to the upside. As you can see, price has been in this expanding flat of creating higher highs and higher lows. I believe that we can see another high get created, price to break this high here, potentially tap into these levels even more, and so that's why I'll be looking to scale into this position with a 100 pip stop loss and look for a potential 400 pip take profit. So hope you guys was able to get some value out of this stream, and I will see you tomorrow for tomorrow's stream.